What's up, you guys? You woke? Why would words like that make people mad? They just pick any random innocent word and get mad at it. So, from the Alina Habba ruling has begun. For real, dude. Look, that's how it is with con men trying to do wrong. It'd be so much drama. And like, I'm trying to do shit right now. In the middle of doing shit, here comes some shit I need to make a video about because y'all just can't stop doing dramatic shit. Why you can't just, you and Trump, Miss Habba, why y'all can't just sit down and just look at the grass? You know how Trump was talking about grass and weed and stuff? Why y'all can't just look at the grass and weed and just enjoy yourselves? Anyways. Ooh. So, before we start, you guys, the timeline for you to skip back and forth within the video is down below and in the description of the video. There is a donation link to donate to me. Thank you for the people who do that. The AGs that he is putting up there, Alina Habba has been ruled as a fake. And isn't it interesting how Trump goes around calling everybody else fake? Some of y'all really have to pay. I hate that people do that. That they're going around calling everybody else fake. And for me, if you going around calling everybody else fake and you don't have any evidence to say this stuff, it's going to make me think that you're talking about yourself. That you don't know anything about these people out here. That you only know yourself and you're talking about yourself. You know, legal turmoil is accelerating in the New Jersey federal court after a judge this week rejected Donald Trump's use of a loophole to keep Alina Habba and Pam Bondi in charge of the federal prosecutor's office. A judge, he ruled that Habba was acting illegally as the U.S. Attorney of New Jersey. Another judge delayed the sentencing, is that really need to be said? Of CEO convicted of scheming to mislead investors during the pandemic. Oh yeah, that's another side mission. The new sentencing delayed ordered by the U.S. District Judge appears to be the first instance of the fallout from Habba's ruling, which declared that Habba must be disqualified from participating in any office's cases as its leader. So they delayed the sentencing, which is set for September 4th. Until further notice. Oh, so is she still going to court? In her order, she rejected the DOJ's argument that Habba or other prosecutors are legally authorized to handle the sentencing of Mark Skishel. I didn't hear nothing. I'm just tapping in. I was at work when all this stuff was happening. Who was found guilty last summer of false public statements claiming his company during the COVID pandemic. As an attorney for Skitzel did not immediately respond to the request, a legal question about Habba's authority mounted in recent weeks. Court records from the last several days shows that the Justice Department No. 2 Deputy Attorney AG Todd Blanche has begun co-signing legal filings with Habba in routine criminal cases, an apparent attempt to insulate the case from being undermined by challenges to Habba's authority. So she's not, okay, so basically everybody knows that she's not the real prosecutor, so we're going to put a prosecutor's name, which he can get in trouble. Blanche can get in trouble for doing that. Blanche's move means that the country's top law enforcement official is not listed as the attorney on the case that normally wouldn't merit the attention of the officials in Washington. This is them trying to hide their steps as they do evil shit. The DOJ is not immediately respond to the request for the comment about, we don't need to talk about, we know that they're not going to respond to a lot right now. They're getting caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So a judge ruled that Habba is not lawfully holding the office of the U.S. AG. She has been in the position without legally authorized since July 1st. Damn, dude. It's like, that's about a year, man. They got to go through a year of your cases and see what you did, and they're pretty much just going to get thrown out, but they really have to review them. Let's address the the issue after New Jersey's federal judge bowed out. So a different judge had to finish this because some New Jersey federal judge didn't want to persecute her, didn't want to do right. So if other judges follow Salah's approach of countless criminal prosecutions could be held up while higher courts sort out whether if the multi-step maneuver the Trump administration used to keep Habba in place without the Senate confirmation is legal. What? I'm finna delete everything I said. In a minute. So Alina Habba, the acting U.S. Attorney General of New Jersey, knocked Senator Chuck Grassley, he's a Republican from Iowa, on Thursday after a federal judge said that she lacks the authority to serve the Garden State #1 nominee, I'm quoting her, to become the U.S. Attorney. Cory Booker and Andy Kim, who I've never met till this day or spoken to in my life, despite attempts to meet them, have truly, truly done us a disservice, Habba said, an appearance on Fox News, Hannity. Dude, Cory Booker and Andy Kim, they too busy right now, girl. They working. We all thought you was working, but we finding out that you ain't got married, which is crazy. So this one was just, oh, by the way, as we go through this article real quick, the Republicans, they tend to fight each other. So you're going to see that. And frankly, same with the Senate Grassley, by upholding a traditional blue slip, not a law. She's crazy. I just said, I just said they don't follow laws, but they... and not allowing a lot of presidential picks to go through and be voted on by the Senate. She told the host, Sean Hannity, I didn't even get to that point. Yeah, because usually when you don't have merit, you're not going to be able to get that far. And what, isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Y'all fired like people who have been in their positions for 30, 50 years, who had credentials, and now it's coming out with the proof that Trump's team lacks their credentials. It was all projection. Habba continued. Then fast forward. It goes to judges, 17 federal judges from the state of New Jersey, 15 of them which are appointed by Obama and Biden. That's just like frankly. We saw with James try to use their seat for political motivation. Okay, cut. She's projecting. That's her. She's the only one doing stuff with political motivation. She opens up cases that are politically charged. So all those are going to get thrown out. And then right now, the judge in the court is frustrated with her because there's lawyers who are smart, and they're saying she's not a real judge. And her intern is up. She's not a real prosecutor. And her internship is up. And no one's taking that extension of the 210 days. Apparently, no one's taking that seriously. But, yeah, there's cases that are being thrown out in her name, on her accord. And she's costing the court money. So, the thing about it is, she's blaming all these other people, but it's her because she's not a real prosecutor. She doesn't have credentials. Thursday evening, that Habba was made the state's federal prosecutor through a novel series of legal and personal moves. Yeah, loopholes, cheating, whatever you want to call it. She doesn't have credentials. Faced with the question of whether Ms. Habba, and I'm quoting Brann right now, the judge, the federal judge, is lawfully performing the functions and duties of the office of U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey, I conclude that she is not, he said in his ruling. And he hit the nail on the head. He's right. And And you know, you guys, y'all be thinking stuff happens overnight. It doesn't. Right here, the question came up during the case of 2 New Jersey defendants facing the federal drug trafficking charges, with their lawyers saying Habba did not have jurisdiction to persecute them, as her 120-day period in term of U.S. expired in July, and it's been about a year. Yeah, there's cases that are getting thrown out for her. Majority of her cases are going to get thrown out. And that's what she don't understand. That ain't got nothing to do with Cory Booker or Andy Kim. That ain't got nothing to do with Republicans. That ain't got nothing to do with the senator from Iowa, Senator Grassley. That ain't got nothing to do with them. They're focused on in their lane, doing their job. And usually everyone thinks when we look up, it's like, oh, I thought you were focused in your lane doing your job too. I didn't know you was over there cheating, lying, stealing stuff. I'm just looking up and finding out myself. Dang. So AG Blondie said Thursday evening on social media that the Justice Department will appeal the ruling. In the last article we read that she's still in the motions of doing that, for personal attorney for Trump, for doing incredible work in New Jersey, and we will protect her position from activists' judicial attacks. No, that's not that. I think maybe you might be doing like Republican judicial attacks, but there's no activist judicial attack. That's not an attack. I think what some people don't understand is just how you put, I don't even know the number. What was federal workers? Just like how you, and union workers, just like how you fired a lot of people, now it's coming back on you. That's really all that is. You got to be careful, what you do to people out here. It may come back to you. You got to be careful. The love that you put out, the respect, when you respect others, you get respect back. And see, the thing about it is, it ain't got nothing to do with, you got to leave your problems at the door. It doesn't matter if people like you, and you guys are not team players. You can't work with Obama or Biden appointed judges. It's an issue for you. I mean, I don't give a fuck if they were appointed by George Washington himself and they're still around doing their thing. You have to get along with them. It's teamwork. In late July, Trump pressed Grassley to do away with the Senate Judicial Committee's blue slip tradition of permitting the home state upper chamber lawmaker to vote on the U.S. attorneys, U.S. district nominees, arguing, and then this is Trump saying, Democrats have used provision to block great Republican candidates. No, the Democrats didn't do nothing like that. Basically, what's going on is that Grassley, bless you, Senator Grassley, he didn't want to break the law for Trump. Just like they're saying the boys down here in Georgia, they didn't want to change the maps for Trump. But Governor Hot Wheels Abbott did it. No, not everybody, that's the thing. Not everybody's going to be a little minion or a flying monkey like Governor Hot Wheels Abbott. Not everybody's going to jump for the chance to throw away their whole country and be a Benedict Arnold to be on your side. Like, it's tradition, it's law, it's the rule. Like, that's something I really think that you can't throw. There's some things that are so big that you can't throw. A committee, in response, now, keep in mind I told you that they be fighting each other. That's the thing about a narcissist. And I think that Senator Grassley, you did well because you didn't enter in the rink with the narcissist, with this clown to play his game. That's the thing about the narcissist. When you help a narcissist, he will hurt you. Their thank yous are fuck yous. So you should not help a narcissist. Let them help themselves. And he's just, after you didn't help him, he's just going to turn around and find somebody crooked who will give him a yes, like Abbott did. And then think about Abbott not paying attention to the future. That, what he did in Texas, could backfire on him. They could revert it, and it could rectify on him. So that could backfire what he did. In response, the Iowa Republican said he is offended and disappointed by Trump's Truth Social post regarding the Senate's tradition. This law, I didn't want to break the law for you, man. Habba called the judge's latest decision disturbing, but vowed that she would keep working. Girl, this is disturbing. That you're going to keep working after you getting fired. You got fired, they're going to have to pull you out with the cops. Right now, the cops are confused with what the fuck to do. Some of them listening to Trump, some of them listening to the Constitution and abiding by the people, and then some of them is dressing up as cops, ain't even cops. Since the cops don't want to, and ICE don't want to identify themselves, neither do the robbers. So it's really hard to trust cops right now, but this is disturbing. Is she gonna keep working when it's time for her to go ahead and look for another position, another job? I am the pick of the president. I'm the pick of Blondie, or AG, and I will serve this country like I have for several years in any capacity. Habba said Thursday night. I don't know which Thursday that was. It was recent. It was on the 22nd. You might, and continue to quote Habba, you might try and change my title. You might try and fight me. Most people, we got end quote, most people don't want to fight. You got to leave your problems at the door. Most people are just trying to come to work and do their job so they can go home and pay for what they need, save up their money, so now they can pay for what they want. Continue quote. But just like today, with New York, we will win, she added. And that's what it is with these narcissists, winning and losing. It's not about reality that everybody is going to work to pay for their priorities, for what they need. This is not a fight of winning and losing, and this is not where, this is a proper time to fight and not at work. That's not where, it's not proper for a war at work. She added, referring to Trump's $500 million civil fraud penalty, the New York case that was dismissed by appeals court Thursday. Okay, so at the end, he got that all wrong. That wasn't appeals court. Trump can put an appeal to the court, and it's not dismissed. It's continued. It's been continued. Basically, that court is trying to give Trump a reduction. And Trump didn't even ask for it. That's just, the people, the judge and all that, the prosecutor of the court can get in trouble for not making the court any money for doing that. But 500 mil, I don't even know why the court is tripping. You don't need to worry about how he's making that money or where he's getting it from. So Trump has it right now. It's 1.5 billion, but it was, everybody remembered when it was a $2 billion Bitcoin that he has made while he's the president of while in the seat of the United States of America. Now that's a conflict of interest. He could have had a family member do it. He could have a stooge do it. He could have did that after being a president. He could have did that before being the president, but you cannot do that while you are the president. The reason why is because there's a conflict of interest. The president is a compassionate job. It's a selfless job. You have to look out for the people of America and our economy. Now, when you get out the chair, you could have did that. But anyways, that's why I'm saying he got a $2 billion Bitcoin. He can pay it. So that's not the court's job to worry about that. They're just saying that the fine is too expensive, that it exceeds the charges. And to the American people, what it looks like is that you just cut yourself from your own money. You just discounted yourself from you being able to pay your own bills easily. Because, the court gets paid too. But yeah, that right there, it's not dismissed. It is continued. So check out that video where I'm talking more about that court case and where it's being continued, and where Trump still has got to get that money. So that means that he is being sentenced, and he might as well go ahead and get that money ready. And then I got the other video ready where I'm talking more about this loophole that Trump is trying to cheat without being lawful. They be up here breaking laws, and they tell you to follow the law. See you next time.